Have you ever felt like your emotions just uh, sweep you away?
Oh, definitely.
Like they arrive out of nowhere, coloring everything you see, everything you feel, every single experience.
Yeah, like you're suddenly just at their mercy,
Yeah,
not really in control.
exactly. Well, today, we're really digging into that very idea. Understanding and, yes, ultimately mastering our emotions.
Hmm.
We've gone through a stack of sources, stuff that aims to be like that elusive how-to manual for our minds,
Right.
exploring what emotions actually are, where they truly come from, and most importantly, how we can effectively manage them.
And maybe even use them, right, for personal growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's our goal for this deep dive, to unearth some maybe surprising truths and give you practical tools.
Tools to navigate that emotional landscape.
Exactly, to help you move from feeling, controlled by your feelings to truly understanding and harnessing them.
Okay.
We'll explore why our brains are wired the way they are, dissect that often elusive concept of
Which
happiness.
is a big one.
It is. And provide actionable steps you can take to really shift your emotional state.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting right at the foundation. What emotions really are.
Yeah.
You know, it's truly surprising when you think about how often we might misunderstand something so fundamental.
It really is. We feel them all the time, but do we get them?
Right. And honestly, not grasping them can just stop us dead in our tracks.
Yeah.
You know, prevent us from designing the lives we actually want.
Mm.
The author of our main source even talks about his own journey writing the book, experiencing intense highs and lows.
It is so relatable.
Totally. It shows even someone deeply studying emotions isn't immune. Far from it.
And what's fascinating is that feelings aren't just abstract ideas. They're not just thoughts.
No.
No, they manifest as very real physical sensations in your body.
Yeah, like that knot in your stomach.
Exactly. Or tension in your shoulders, that lightness in your chest. Those aren't just ideas. That's your emotion playing out physically. So the absolute first step toward any kind of control is simply knowing how you feel, recognizing that physical part.
Okay, so tuning into the body. And speaking of how we're built, our brains, fundamentally designed for survival, right?
That's its prime directive, survival.
That's why we're even here. Every generation before us survived long enough to pass on their genes.
And that wiring is still largely in place, even though, most of us aren't outrunning saber-toothed tigers anymore.
Right, we wish.
This primal wiring leads directly to what psychologists call the negativity bias,
Okay, negativity bias.
meaning your brain gives significantly more weight, more importance to negative events than positive ones. It's scanning for threats.
Ah, okay.
Think about the fear of rejection. Eons ago, being rejected by your tribe, that could literally mean death.
Sure, alone in the wild.
Exactly. Today, rejection often carries little to no real long-term consequence. You could be disliked by tons of people and still be perfectly fine.
Right. Food, shelter.
Yet, our brains still perceive it as a major threat. That ancient programming kicks in.
So that's why one single one-star review can crush an author with 55-star reviews.
Precisely. Or why a boss's minor criticism can spiral in your mind. You start thinking, I'm going to get fired, lose my house.
Total catastrophe thinking.
Yeah. The pain feels incredibly real, even if the actual danger isn't there. Our brain's just doing its old job.
So essentially, our ancient survival instincts are kind of overprotective now, always bracing for the worst.
You could say that, but here's what's even more crucial to understand, and maybe a bit counterintuitive.
Okay.
This primal wiring means your brain's primary job isn't actually to make you happy.
Wait, really? Not to make us happy?
Nope. Its job is solely focused on keeping you alive. Survival first, happiness. Well, that's secondary, if it happens at all.
Wow, okay. That is a big shift in perspective.
It's a game changer. Take dopamine, for example.
Hmm.
Powerful brain chemical, a neurotransmitter.
Right, the pleasure chemical.
Kind of. It's essential for survival things like finding food, reproduction. It rewards us with a high for doing those things.
Makes sense. Keep the species going.
But in today's world, that reward system gets, hijacked. Artificially exploited.
How so?
Social media notifications, gambling, porn, they all trigger dopamine releases. Makes them incredibly addictive.
Ah, okay. The little ping on your phone.
Exactly. The source mentions a study where participants chose pleasure center stimulation over food, even when hungry.
Wow.
And you hear extreme cases like Lee Sung-soop, who tragically died after playing a video game for 58 hours straight. Exhaustion, dehydration.
That's terrifying.
It is. But it highlights the point. That dopamine hit we crave. It's absolutely not the same as true, sustained happiness.
Okay, so our survival mechanisms are being kind of tricked by modern life, giving us these fleeting pleasure hits, but not real happiness,
Pretty much.
which feeds right into that one day I will be happy myth. We chase the perfect job, the partner, the house.
Thinking then I'll be happy.
Right. But our minds just acclimate.
Mm.
It's called hedonic adaptation.
Yeah, that 1978 study on lottery winners and paraplegics is really eye-opening here.
What did it find?
It found that just 1 year after these massive life changes, winning millions or becoming paralyzed, both groups had basically returned to their previous levels of happiness.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously, it doesn't mean the events weren't huge, but our baseline happiness is largely internal. It's resilient.
So circumstances don't dictate happiness as much as we think.
Not nearly as much. Research suggests only about 10% of our happiness comes from external factors, job, money, marriage status.
Only 10%. What's the rest?
About 50% seems to be genetics, our sort of set point,
Right.
and the other 40%, that's internal factors, your attitude, your interpretation.
So it really is more about how you react to things.
Exactly. Attitude, not circumstance, drives happiness. That 40% is where we have the most leverage.
Okay, so if it's not externals
Mm-hmm.
and genetics is half,
Mm-hmm.
what else is shaping this internal landscape? The sources talk about the ego,
Ah, yes, the ego.
not just being arrogant, right? It's more this mind-created self-identity.
That's it. It's built through how we interpret events and what we identify with. External things, mostly.
Okay, how does it operate then, this ego?
Well, think of it as this entity inside, solely concerned with its own survival, like the brain's survival instinct, but crucially, it's not concerned with your happiness.
Just its own existence.
Yeah, it needs an identity, and it builds this by identifying with physical items.
It's like my car, my clothes.
Exactly. Marketers know this. They don't sell cars. They sell a story, an emotion, an identity you can attach to.
Huh.
The ego also identifies with our bodies, hence deriving self-worth from looks,
Mhm.
and with our friends, acquaintances, constantly seeking approval.
What does it get out of that?
It's only interested in what it gets from others, validation, status. Anthony DeMello said, loneliness is not cured by human company. It's cured by contact with reality. The ego needs people for its identity.
And it identifies with beliefs, too, like religion or politics.
Oh, strongly. People become so attached they'll die for beliefs or even kill others who disagree. Think about how intense political arguments get. That's ego defending its territory.
Okay, so it grabs onto things. Possessions, looks, people, beliefs, to build itself up. What are its main characteristics?
Well, it equates having with being.
Yeah.
Like, I'm successful because I have a big house.
Got it.
It lives through comparison, always measuring itself against others.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Constantly. And it's never satisfied. Always wants more stuff, more approval.
And needs that external validation.
Absolutely. It needs external approval to feel valuable.
So how does this ego thing actually play out
Yeah.
day to day?
Its biggest trick, its main strategy, is the need to feel superior.
Superior. How?
Lots of ways. Enhancing its value through association, name-dropping famous friends, gossiping about others to feel better by comparison.
Oh, okay.
Inferiority or superiority complex is two sides of the same ego coin, seeking fame. And a huge one,
Yeah.
the obsessive need to be right.
Oh, I know that one.
We all do.
Mm.
From historical figures to everyday arguments. Complaining is another one. When you complain, you're implicitly saying, I'm right, they're wrong.
Yeah, true.
And seeking attention, sometimes in negative ways. The core insight, this constant drive for superiority, pulls us away from genuine connection and peace. Recognizing your ego's favorite tactics is the first step to breaking free.
That is powerful, just
Yeah.
seeing the pattern. So the big takeaway here is this strong identification with ego, with external things.
Yeah,
That's the root of so many negative emotions.
absolutely. You get upset when life doesn't fit your personal story. You get defensive when beliefs are challenged because the ego feels attacked.
So the core idea is, if we change our story, let go of that excessive attachment, we can feel better, more positive emotions,
That's the path, and this leads us to the nature of emotions themselves, their transient quality.
meaning they don't last.
Exactly. They come and go like clouds in the sky. Expecting constant happiness just sets you up for failure and self-blame. You will feel sad, disappointed, angry. It's normal, but they pass.
That's a really crucial distinction.
Yeah.
Because negative emotions aren't inherently bad or useless, right?
Not at all. They don't make you less of a person.
Think about Elon Musk bouncing back from a breakdown, or Abraham Lincoln. Immense depression after losing his fiancée, but he became president.
Powerful examples. Negative emotions can be wake-up calls. tools for growth, like
Hmm.
physical pain signals something's wrong with the body.
Emotional pain signals something's wrong with our thinking.
Often, yes. With our interpretation or beliefs, it prompts you to look deeper.
Okay.
So even the deepest sadness passes. However, if the same negative emotions keep popping up again and again,
Like a recurring theme.
yeah, that signals there might be some underlying disempowering beliefs that really need to be addressed. That's the difference between experiencing an emotion and being stuck in a loop.
Got it. And emotions can be tricky, right? Like putting on colored glasses.
Exactly. A negative mood acts like a filter. It taints everything. When you're depressed, food tastes bland, movies are boring, everything feels like a struggle.
But in a positive mood.
Everything seems brighter, more vibrant. The author admits he gets fooled by his own emotions all the time, forgetting they're temporary, forgetting they are not me.
And often it's not external stuff changing, but our internal dialogue.
That's often the driver, our thoughts spinning stories.
Okay.
This internal dialogue fuels what the source calls the evil power of emotions. An emotion can become like this amplified, energized thought pattern that wants to take over.
Especially if it fits our story. Like, I'm not good enough.
Precisely. That thought hooks onto shame or guilt, and suddenly the emotion feels huge, all-consuming.
And this creates a filtering power.
Yes. Negative states drain your energy, confidence, creativity, make you hesitant. And there's also a magnetic power.
Magnetic.
Emotions attract thoughts on the same wavelength. Feel bad, you start thinking more bad thoughts. It creates a vicious cycle.
Like the author's knee pain example.
Perfect example. Knee pain triggered thoughts about all his life problems. A small issue ballooned into a life crisis because the negative feeling attracted more negativity.
Wow. So to break that magnetic pull, we need to stop clustering negative thoughts. Learn to compartmentalize.
That's the key insight. Don't let one problem contaminate everything else. Isolate it. Deal with it.
Like stopping that snowball effect before it gets too big.
Exactly. This leads to emotional accessibility. It's really hard to force positive thoughts when you're deep in a negative state. It feels fake.
Yeah, just think positive doesn't always cut it.
Right. But moving up the emotional ladder can work. Say, from deep depression to anger.
Anger seems negative too, though.
It is, but it has more energy than hopelessness. Anger can motivate action. So moving from despair to anger can actually be a positive step up the ladder. It's about finding any upward momentum.
I see. A stepping stone. And ultimately, a lot of our mental suffering, we kind of create it ourselves by locking on to thoughts and emotions.
We do. Think about procrastination. The worst part isn't usually the task itself.
It's all the worrying about the task.
Exactly. Dale Carnegie said something like 100% of the fatigue of the sedentary worker is due to psychological factors, emotional factors.
Oh.
Which brings us to this really provocative idea that problems don't exist in objective reality.
Okay, explain that one. How can problems not exist?
Well, 3 ways to look at it. First, what you don't focus on doesn't exist for you. A problem only becomes real when you give it mental energy. Second, problems exist only in time in your mind's memory of the past or projection of the future. Not in the present moment. Right now, are you okay? Usually the answer is yes.
Okay.
And third, a situation only becomes a problem when we label it as such. If you accept a situation, say, being stuck in traffic just as it is, without the label, this is a problem, it's just a situation. Traffic.
That takes some serious mental discipline, though, to just accept it without the emotional reaction.
It does. It's a practice. But it's incredibly freeing.
Okay, that's a lot to chew on about the nature of emotions. Now, shifting gears a bit,
Hmm.
what about external influences? Things that impact our emotional state from the outside.
Right. Swami's garbage in, garbage out principle applies here. What we feed our minds and bodies directly impacts our emotions.
And the good news is we have some control over these inputs.
Absolutely. Let's start with sleep. It's massive.
We all know how we feel when we don't get enough. Grumpy, foggy.
Unable to concentrate, less able to enjoy good things. Studies link lack of sleep to increased mortality risk, huge economic costs.
And our devices don't help, right? The blue light.
Big problem. Electronic devices reduce melatonin, that key sleep hormone, and mess with deep sleep.
So, practical tips for better sleep.
Make your bedroom pitch black, seriously dark. Avoid electronics before bed, or at least use blue light glasses. Relax your mind, maybe soothing music, read a physical book, avoid drinking lots of water right before bed, and establish a consistent evening ritual. Signal to your body it's time to wind down.
Good advice. Okay, what about the influence of our body itself on emotions? Amy Cuddy's work.
Yeah, her quote is great. Our bodies change our minds change our behavior, and our behavior changes our outcomes. It's a feedback loop.
And her research showed that just changing your posture,
For just 2 minutes. Adopting high-power poses, think open, expansive, taking up space.
like Wonder Woman,
Exactly. It increased testosterone, linked to confidence, decreased the stress hormone cortisol, and even increased risk tolerance. Low-power poses did the opposite.
wow. And someone actually induced depression with posture.
David K. Reynolds, yeah. He adopted a slumped, low-power posture and repeated negative words. He demonstrated how powerfully our physical state shapes our emotions. It's not just in your head.
Incredible. Which leads directly to exercising. The benefits seem obvious, but maybe we underestimate them.
We definitely do. Michael Otto's analogy is perfect. Not exercising when you feel bad is like not taking aspirin when your head hurts. It's a direct remedy.
And it helps someone recover from depression.
David Kent, yes. He forced himself to be active. Studies back this up. Exercise can be as effective as antidepressants for mild to moderate depression and helps prevent relapse.
What kind of exercise are we talking? Marathons?
Not necessarily. Just a 30-minute walk 5 days a week can make a huge difference. Exercise adds years to your life, and the mood boost can happen within just 5 minutes. It's a quick win.
Okay, body covered. Now thoughts. Emerson said, "You become what you think about all day long."
Powerful truth. Meditation is fantastic for this. It helps tame that monkey mind, the constant chatter.
Create some distance from the thoughts.
Exactly. Lets you observe them without getting swept away. And visualization is another key tool here.
How does that work?
Your subconscious mind can't really tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one.
Seriously.
Yeah. So by vividly imagining your desired outcomes, feeling the positive emotions associated with them, you can essentially trick your mind into feeling good and condition it for success. Athletes do this constantly.
Wow. Okay, and this connects to words, right? Thoughts and words are linked.
Deeply interconnected. Thoughts, words, behaviors, they all influence each other.
And even small word changes matter, like "I'll try" versus "I will."
Absolutely. I'll try implies doubt. I will signals commitment, confidence. It changes how you feel and how others perceive you.
So this is where positive affirmations come in.
Exactly. These are positive statements you repeat until your subconscious accepts them as true.
How do you do them effectively?
Use the present tense, I am confident, not I will be. Avoid negatives, so I am calm, not I am not stressed. Repeat them daily, maybe for a few minutes. And crucially, involve visualization and feel the emotion.
Examples.
I love being confident. I am independent of other people's opinions, or simply looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, your name.
Tony Robbins uses incantations.
Yeah, he combines powerful affirmations with strong body language posture, gestures to create absolute certainty. It's about embodying the state you want.
Okay, another element often overlooked, breathing.
So fundamental, yet most of us don't breathe properly. Shallow breathing leads to less energy, more negative emotions.
It's right under our noses,
Prove it.
literally.
It is. The breathwalk work shows how powerful it is. Slowing your breath down dramatically reduces anxiety and increases awareness.
And faster breathing.
Certain rapid breathing techniques, like breath of fire in yoga, can release stress and boost energy. It's a direct lever you can pull to change your emotional state anytime, anywhere.
Fascinating. And our environment plays a role, too.
Huge role. Everything from the people you hang out with to how tidy your desk is.
The author cleaned his desk and felt more motivated.
Yeah, decluttering your physical space often declutters your mental space, too. It creates a sense of control and calm.
And finally, music. We all know music affects mood.
We do. That Rocky theme for motivation, right? Studies confirm it. Positive music boosts mood, reduces negativity, improves self-esteem.
Does the type of music matter?
Apparently less than you'd think. The key is often the intention. Listening with the goal of boosting your mood makes it more effective. Christopher Berglund uses specific playlists to create an invincible state of mind for athletic performance.
So experiment. Find your own power playlists.
Definitely. Create playlists for focus, energy, calm, whatever state you want to cultivate.
Okay, wow. Lots of external factors we can influence. Now let's get into the really practical stuff. How to actively take control. How to change our emotions. Eckhart Tolle's quote comes to mind about being identified with the mind causing suffering.
Right. The more you are identified with your mind, the more you suffer. The more you are able to honor and accept the good root. Now, the more you are free of pain, free of the egoic mind.
So how do we do that?
It starts with understanding the formula for how strong emotions get built. Interpretation plus identification plus repetition Strong emotion.
Okay, break that down. Interpretation first.
This means negative emotions always come from how we interpret events, not the events themselves.
Like the rain example. Good for the farmer, bad for the picnic.
Exactly. The rain itself is neutral. Reality is neutral. It's our unmet expectations, our stories about reality that create suffering. How you frame it is everything.
Got it. Next, identification.
Emotions can't survive without our attention, our identification with them. The crucial shift is realizing you are not your emotions.
So instead of I am sad.
Say, I feel sad or I experience sadness, it creates distance. Think of emotions like clothes you wear you aren't the clothes.
Okay.
If you identify with anger, I am angry, it tends to grow. But if you get busy, fully absorbed in something else, the anger often just fades. It needs your focus to live.
Observe, don't become.
That's the essence. And finally, repetition.
This is about dwelling on things.
Precisely. Repeatedly identifying with negative thoughts, constantly replaying that argument, that perceived slight conditions your mind. It builds strong, lasting emotional pathways.
Like carving a groove in your brain.
Exactly. But if you disengage, stop replaying it, the emotion loses power and fades. You start feeding it.
So how do we change our interpretation? That seems key.
You have to dig into your underlying assumptions about life, beliefs you might not even know you have.
Like what?
Like, problems should be avoided at all costs, or I must get married by 30, or complaining is just normal, or I need to worry about the future to be prepared.
Yeah. Those sound familiar.
These ingrained beliefs automatically shape your interpretations. The work is to question them. Are they actually true? Are they serving you? Often, the beliefs we cling to most tightly cause the most pain.
Okay, questioning assumptions. Now, what about actively letting go of emotions once they arise? The Sedona method.
Yes, this is incredibly powerful. Trying to repress or ignore emotions doesn't work. It's like holding a beach ball underwater. It just pops up elsewhere, often stronger,
Right, they accumulate.
and become part of your identity. The Sedona method is a simple process to allow that emotional energy to flow through and release.
What are the steps?
5 steps. 1, focus on the emotion you want to let go of. Feel it in your body.
Okay.
2, ask yourself, could I let this feeling go? Or could I allow it to be here? Or could I welcome it? Just see if the answer is yes or no. 3, then ask, would I? Meaning, am I willing to let it go? Again, be honest. A no is okay. It reveals where you're stuck.
Would I?
4, ask when. The only possible answer is now.
When? Now.
And 5, repeat the cycle. Ask, could I? Would I? When? Again and again. You might feel the emotion lessening with each cycle.
It sounds almost too simple.
It does, but it's profoundly effective. It short-circuits the identification and repetition process. It's about allowing, not resisting. Give it a try.
Definitely will. This leads nicely into conditioning the mind for more positive emotions. That timeless wisdom. You are what you think about most of the time.
Exactly. Thoughts generate emotions. Emotions drive actions. Actions shape your reality.
And our imagination plays a role.
Huge role. We can use our imagination fueled by positive emotions like enthusiasm or excitement to literally help manifest our desires. Confidence, too, is built this way.
Yes.
Confidence comes from depositing positive thoughts, celebrating small wins. Low self-esteem comes from constantly bombarding yourself with negative self-talk. It's about what you consistently feed your mind.
But let's be real. Positive thinking alone isn't magic.
Right.
You can't just chant, I'm happy, if you're feeling awful, especially if you're kind of addicted to your negative stories.
That's a very important point. It's not about suppressing negativity. It's about knowing how to deal with negative emotions when they arise and proactively cultivating positive ones.
Okay, so how do we condition the mind effectively?
3 basic steps. 1, decide consciously which positive emotions you want to experience more often. Gratitude, joy, confidence.
Be specific.
2, set up a specific program or practice to cultivate them. Don't just wish for it.
Make a plan.
And 3, practice daily. Consistency is key. Neuroscience shows that repeated thoughts and emotions strengthen neural pathways. You're literally rewiring your brain to make those positive states easier to access, like building a muscle.
Okay, practical exercises for gratitude.
Make it a daily routine. First thing in the morning or last thing at night, write down 3 things you're genuinely grateful for. Could be big, could be tiny.
I love my coffee.
Absolutely. Or thank people directly. Even mentally thank people you find difficult. It shifts your energy. Appreciate everyday objects, like the chair you're sitting on. Listen to gratitude meditations. It really changes your focus from lack to abundance.
Okay. For excitement. getting fired up about goals.
Visualize your desires daily. Feel the excitement as if they're already real. Write down what I want. Keep a goals or dreams journal. Vividly imagine your ideal day. What does it look like, sound like, feel like?
Really immerse yourself in it. What about confident certainty?
Similar to excitement. Visualize your goals already accomplished. See yourself having succeeded. Feel the certainty, the pride. Commit to that vision.
And self-esteem, building that inner sense of worth.
Keep a win log. Write down your daily accomplishments no matter how small. Woke up on time? Check. Finished a difficult email? Check.
Acknowledge the small victories.
Yes. You can fill a transparent jar with little notes about your wins, a visual reminder. Keep a positive journal, just for compliments you receive. Read it when you feel down.
Speaking of compliments, you mentioned accepting them is important for self-esteem.
Crucial. When someone compliments you, resist the urge to deflect or downplay it. Just say, sincerely, thank you, name. Let it sink in. Feel it.
Don't immediately return it.
No, just receive it. Your ability to accept positive feedback reflects your self-worth. There's even an appreciation game. Take turns appreciating each other, simply receiving the appreciation.
That sounds nice. Okay, another angle. Changing emotions by changing behavior. William James said action regulates feeling.
Right. Sometimes thinking or feeling differently isn't enough. You need to act differently. Strong emotions sometimes require a behavioral shift.
Like what?
Getting over a breakup. Maybe actively avoid looking at old photos or visiting old haunts. Worried about a presentation. The action of extensive rehearsal reduces the feeling of worry.
Dealing with resentment.
Sometimes the action needed is having that difficult, honest conversation. Or if sadness is just there, maybe due to loss, and you can't change the situation, the behavior is to gently accept the feeling and focus on your daily tasks. Action itself can shift the internal state over time.
Okay. And finally, changing emotions by changing your environment.
We can't control everything externally, but we can often control our exposure to things that trigger negative emotions.
Like the author reducing Facebook time.
Exactly. Identify your energy drains. Common culprits include too much news or TV, social media addiction, hanging out with constantly negative people, perpetual complaining.
Not finishing what you start.
Big one. Those create open loops in your mind, unfinished business that drains mental energy. Identify what consistently brings you down in your environment or routine and consciously choose to limit or eliminate it. What's one thing you do that saps your energy?
That is a great question for everyone listening. Identify those drains. Okay, this brings us to our final, really powerful segment. Using emotions as guides.
Yes. Reframing them not as enemies, but as invaluable tools for personal growth.
How so?
They guide us by revealing when our interpretation of reality might be, well, biased or unhelpful. Think of Alice Summer finding joy in a concentration camp, or Nick Vujicic thriving without limbs. They show it's possible to find meaning and peace even in horrific circumstances. It's about the inner response.
So emotions are like signals.
Exactly. Physical pain signals something's wrong with the body. Emotional suffering signals something might be wrong with our mind, our thoughts, beliefs, interpretations.
And the key is self-awareness.
The ability to objectively observe your inner state, thoughts, feelings, sensations without judgment, like becoming a neutral witness to your own experience.
A simple tool for this is the above or below the line model.
Super simple, super powerful, from Jim Defmer and Diana Chapman.
How does it work?
When you're above the line, you're open, curious, willing to learn, taking responsibility. Think growth mindset.
Okay.
When you're below the line, you're defensive, blaming, finding fault, arguing, gossiping, closed off. Victim mindset.
So the key is just noticing.
Noticing when you've slipped below the line, that awareness is the first crucial step to shifting back up. It's a quick check-in, am I open right now or closed?
Another simple model, fear versus love.
Yeah, this suggests that pretty much all our actions throughout the day stem from one of these two core motivations.
Fear or love? How?
Fear-based actions focus on getting approval, money, power, security. It's about lack, protecting the self.
And love-based.
Love-based actions focus on giving time, compassion, creativity, contribution. It's about abundance, connection, expressing the self.
Example.
An actor pursuing fame for validation, that's fear-based. An actor focused on entertaining, expressing their art, connecting with the audience, that's love-based. Same activity, different core energy.
So examine our own motivations.
Yes. Look at your major life goals, your daily actions. Ask, is this coming from a place of wanting to get something or wanting to give something? Shifting towards giving can fundamentally change your emotional experience.
Okay, practical application, recording your emotions.
Great exercise. Try it for a week. Each day, maybe a few times a day, just note down your main emotion and rate its intensity, 1 to 10.
Just track it.
Then, at the end of the week, look back and analyze. Ask yourself about the negative emotions you recorded.
What questions?
What negative emotion did I feel? What really happened about just the objective facts? What was my interpretation or story about it? What underlying belief might have caused that interpretation? How did I eventually return to a neutral state? And importantly, what could I have done differently?
Can you give an example?
Sure. Say you felt mildly depressed at work. Facts. Boss gave feedback on a report. Interpretation. My boss thinks I'm incompetent, I'll never get promoted. Belief. I must be perfect to be valued. Return to neutral. Venting to a colleague, then getting busy, done differently. Could have asked the boss for specific clarification instead of assuming the worst.
I see. It really dissects the whole emotional event.
It uncovers those hidden patterns of thought and belief that trigger the feelings. Incredibly insightful.
Okay, let's tackle some specific emotional problems using this lens, starting with not being good enough. So common.
Incredibly common. Even affects super successful people like Jodie Foster, Meryl Streep have talked about imposter syndrome.
Why do we feel that?
Often stems from low self-esteem. We focus on perceived shortcomings, discount accomplishments. Remember dismissing compliments. That's a classic sign.
So how to use that feeling for growth?
First, identify your triggers. When does that feeling surface? Then, actively counter it. Use the tools we discussed. Keep that win log, maybe list 50 life accomplishments first, big and small. Then add 5-10 daily wins. Fill the self-esteem jar. Keep the positive journal for compliments. It's about gathering evidence against that feeling.
Rewriting the narrative with facts. Okay, what about being defensive?
That's all about protecting the ego, the story. Why do we do it? Usually one of 3 reasons.
Sure.
1, part of the criticism is actually true and it stings. 2, we believe there might be truth in it, even if it's unfounded. 3, a core belief is being attacked. Political or religious beliefs are prime examples.
So the growth opportunity.
Ask yourself, what story or belief am I fiercely trying to protect right now? Is this belief actually serving me? Can I loosen my grip on it? Is it even objectively true? Your defensiveness points directly to an attachment you need to examine.
Next up, stress and worry, a modern epidemic.
Key insight here. Stress isn't out there. It's an internal response. We have to take responsibility for it.
How do we do that? Reframe it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ask, is this situation inherently stressful, like that traffic jam? Or is it my belief about the situation I must not be late that's creating the stress?
And worry is different about the future.
Worry is anxiety about past or future events, things outside the present moment. Stress is the reaction now. A great exercise for worry is to sort your worries
Sort them.
into 3 buckets. Things I have complete control over, things I have some control or influence over, and things I have no control over. Then make a plan to act on the first 2 buckets. For the 3rd bucket, things you have no control over the work, is to practice acceptance and letting go of the need to control them. Maybe reframe how you use that time, like listening to audiobooks in traffic. Focus your energy where it makes a difference.
Makes sense. What about caring what people think of you? Another big one.
Here's the liberating, maybe slightly brutal truth. You are the most important person in the world to yourself. And guess what? Everyone else feels the same way about themselves.
Meaning?
Meaning they are far too busy worrying about their own lives, their own insecurities, what other people think of them, to be spending nearly as much time thinking about you as you imagine.
Oh, okay. That's kind of comforting.
There's that saying, at 20, you worry about what everyone thinks of you. At 40, you don't care what anyone thinks of you. At 60, you realize no one was ever thinking about you in the first place.
Love that.
Not everyone will like you. That's okay. Trying to please everyone means watering yourself down, living a dull, inauthentic life. Your job is to be you. What others think, truly none of your business.
How to internalize that.
Realize how little you actually judge or think about casual acquaintances day to day. Assume they think about you just as little. Practice letting go of managing your image. Be brave enough to be disliked for being authentic.
Powerful. Okay, resentment feels heavy.
It is. It's basically sustained anger, usually at people we feel haven't met our expectations. Often involves poor communication or an unwillingness to forgive.
Mandela's quote about drinking poison.
Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Perfect. It hurts us.
And it builds the same way. Interpretation, identification, repetition.
Exactly. You interpret an event negatively, you identify with the feeling of being wronged, and you repeat the story in your head.
The growth opportunity.
Resentment is a signal to value your own peace of mind more than being right or getting revenge. It's an invitation to practice forgiveness, which is really an act of self-love. Let it go for you.
Oh.
4 steps suggested. 1, reevaluate your interpretation. Was it the only way to see it? 2, confront the situation if possible and appropriate, or write a letter you don't send just to process. 3, consciously forgive. Use that 5-step letting go process on the feeling of resentment. 4, truly forget. Stop replaying the mental movie. Let it be over.
Okay. Moving on to jealousy.
Defined as desiring what someone else has or fearing losing what we believe is ours.
Where does it come from?
Often from a belief that we're not good enough, combined with a scarcity mindset, believing there isn't enough success or love to go around.
Can jealousy be a guide?
Absolutely. It can point you towards what you really want. Susan Cain realized her jealousy of public speakers meant she secretly wanted to do it herself. The author felt jealous of bloggers, realized he wanted to write online. It reveals unmet desires.
So use it as information.
Yes. And shift from competition to cooperation. Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Also, check your self-esteem. Excessive jealousy often signals insecurity and unhealthy comparison. Compare yourself to your past self, not others' highlight reels.
Good point.
Yeah.
What about depression? Non-clinical, the feeling of hopelessness.
Often described as losing hope, feeling stuck when you're not where you want to be in life.
It feels overwhelming.
It does. But the source emphasizes that depression, while incredibly difficult, is often an active process created by identified negative thoughts. Meaning, if we're creating it, we have the power to uncreate it, to climb out. Remember David Reynolds inducing depression through posture and words.
Right.
Anger can even be a step up from depression on that emotional ladder we talked about. It has more energy.
So the growth lesson from depression.
Often it's an invitation to let go of the ego stories, get out of your head, and reconnect with reality, with your body. Action is key. Exercise. Meditate. Focusing on breath, not thoughts. Engage in simple activities. Focus on helping others.
Alfred Adler advised melancholic patients to try doing one good deed for someone else each day. It's about feeling your way out, not thinking your way out.
Okay. Fear discomfort. That feeling when stepping outside the comfort zone.
Yeah, that anxiety. Common fears, rejection, failure, loss, success even, are primarily threats to our ego, not our physical survival usually.
So the growth opportunity is?
Fear is often a sign you should act. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action despite the fear. It's a habit you cultivate.
By doing the scary thing.
Yes. Avoiding fears shrinks your world, limits potential, and erodes self-esteem. Identify that one thing you're procrastinating on due to fear.
Yeah.
Get to a small part of it. Experience the reward of pride, of feeling alive.
Which brings us neatly to procrastination itself, more than laziness.
Much more. Largely an emotional issue. Links to fear of failure, of success, of judgment, low self-esteem, lack of self-discipline, or sometimes just the task being boring or overwhelming.
Why do we do it? Hidden reasons often include fear of doing a poor job, finding the task too challenging, lack of motivation, or simply not seeing the importance.
The growth opportunity here.
Procrastination means your mind's excuses are running the show. You have the choice to ignore them.
How to crush it. The source has steps.
A comprehensive 16-step process, but the core ideas are: understand your why, the cost of procrastinating, the benefit of doing it. Uncover and challenge your excuses. Too tired tomorrow, not important. Use empowering affirmations. Clarify your purpose. Identify distractions. Start small. Commit to just 5 minutes. Break it down. Just get started. Use the 5-second rule. Build daily habits. Visualize success. Create accountability.
Okay, a whole toolkit there. Finally, lack of motivation.
Often a sign you don't have a compelling vision, or your goals aren't aligned with who you truly are, your strengths, personality, values.
So find the emotional why.
Yes. Why do you really want to lose weight? Is it just a number, or is it about energy, confidence, health? Find the deeper driver. Also, know your strengths, leverage what you're good at. Align tasks with your personality. Do you need independence? Collaboration.
But motivation fluctuates.
Right, absolutely. It comes and goes. That's why systems, habits, and self-discipline are crucial. You can't rely on feeling motivated all the time. Practice self-compassion when it dips.
What if you just feel stuck?
Try this. List all tasks nagging you. Identify one you've put off. Just do that one thing. Completing it can break the inertia. Also, consciously close open loops. Either schedule time to finish those lingering projects or decide to abandon them. Free up that mental RAM.
Close the loops. I like that. Okay, we've covered so much ground today.
We really have.
And the core message seems crystal clear. The quality of our emotions really does determine the quality of our lives.
Fundamental.
We're always going to experience negative emotions. That's just part of being human. It's unavoidable.
Absolutely.
But the power, your power, lies in how you choose to respond, in that space between stimulus and response.
Precisely. And maybe here's the ultimate provocative thought to leave you with.
Okay, let's hear it.
You're not sad, depressed, jealous, or angry. You are the awareness that witnesses these emotions. You are the sky, they are the clouds. You are what remains after these temporary feelings fade away. So learn from your emotions, use them as the valuable guides they are, and then ultimately let them go. Remember that who you truly are is beyond emotion.